قمرة، منصة تعطي الفرصة
لأصحاب المواهب من كل العالم للإبداع.
نقدم لكم 30 فيلم قصير.
هدفنا المشاركة في صناعة محتوى إعلامي
ممتع وهادف.
ممتع وهادف.
قمرة عبر بإحسان.
Expressive excellence.
إحسان إظهار كرنة.
عبر بإحسان.
Express with excellence.
من المملكة العربية السعودية.
من لبنان.
من الكويت.
From Czech Republic.
من البحرين.
من مصر.
من العراق.
From الجزائر.
I'm Eric Plouhar. I live in Prague, which is capital of Czech Republic, and I work as an advertising director. Originally, I studied IT because my father wanted me to be his successor in a software company he founded. But then I realized it's not what I'd like to do for my whole life. So I left the school and decided to follow my biggest passion, which was always photography. And from photography, it was just one step to filming. The film I made is about a guy who gets an email that he might get an opportunity to live on Mars in the near future. But there's one problem, he doesn't know if he could ever come back to Earth. So he really has to think about it, even if this was always his lifelong dream.
One day, you get an email. You have been pre-selected as a potential candidate for the Mars colony. Accept this invitation within 72 hours and pay the $100 fee to be selected for the next round. To be an astronaut was always your lifelong dream. A few years ago, you were one of the 200,000 applicants for a similar selection. You failed miserably, but today is your lucky day. You celebrate by singing Space Oddity, a song recorded by an astronaut in space. You call your fiancé. You have some big news. You might be moving to Mars in the near future. You're joking, aren't you? No, you say. And then enthusiastically explain how it's impossible to have a real phone call between Earth and Mars because it's so far away that it takes between 3 and 22 minutes for the signal to travel. What an ass and selfish you are if you really mean to do this. Also, just an would think they're looking for an unfit guy who last worked out in elementary school. You're starting to feel that she doesn't appreciate the idea as much as you do. You Google, how fit are astronauts? You read a few articles with a big frown on your face. You do a 60-minute workout you found on YouTube and faint after 6 minutes. You realize your athletic clothing sucks. Because you have no time to lose, you decide to buy all the stuff online while thinking about your favorite hero, Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon who made a giant leap for mankind. And after 50 years, the time has come for the next giant leap, for a new hero, for you. No, that's not quite it. There you go. The whole next day, you're waiting for the package to arrive. But it doesn't. Finally, it has, and you go to run, and you run, and you run like you've never run before. For 6 minutes. Again. Then you walk home imagining how unnaturally strong you will be on Mars. Because it's a smaller size, Mars has just 38% of Earth's gravity. That means you might be able to lift very heavy things. Which would be very convenient right about now, especially since a Japanese tourist just hit you with a Segway while you've been daydreaming. You wake up in the hospital with a concussion and a leg fracture. You ask the nurse what time it is. She tells you. You realize you were out all day and the Mars submission is closing in an hour. You sneak out of the hospital and get on the bus. Your fiancée is calling, asking if you still want to go to Mars. You say you're still thinking about it. She hangs up. Facebook says you are single. And suddenly it hits you. Do you really want to lose your marriage, your life, for a one-way ticket to an empty planet with an average temperature of minus 63 degrees Celsius and an atmosphere so thin that without a spacesuit, your blood will start to boil and you'll die a very painful death in 1 minute? Of course. Only if you don't suffocate, starve to death, get killed by a crazy colleague, crash during the landing, or explode during the takeoff. However, you may experience the greatest journey ever made and become one of the pioneers of multiplanetary living, which means humans could live independently on Earth and be here forever. Not like those stupid dinosaurs. Yeah. You leap into action and run out of the bus. You realize the elevator is not working and decide to take the stairs. You throw away the crutches because they're slowing you down. That was a bad idea. A really bad idea. You're home. You made it. You enter your name, birth date, address, nationality, profession, email, and most importantly, credit card information. Guess who's going to Mars? Later that evening, you're resting peacefully in bed. All the exhaustion and pain has gone away. You are absolutely content. Wait. You grab your cell phone to check your bank account. You stare at it for a while.
There are 3 reasons why I decided to make a movie about Mars. First of all, when I was a kid, my dream job was to be an astronaut, and still is. Second, there was an unbelievable progress in this field during the last few years, mainly thanks to SpaceX company, which is doing amazing things. And third, I wanted to work on a topic that is relevant for anybody in the world. The biggest challenge in making this movie was definitely to make it happen. Me and my producer Kamila realized that because of multiple reasons we have just 3 weeks for the whole preparation, and for a movie like this, let's say it's not much time if you want the result to be great. So we knew we were going to struggle, and we struggled a lot. We just worked, and when there was some time we slept. But fortunately we had a few amazing people who made it bearable for us. For example, Jitka, who changed Kamila's flat into a movie set in a few days. Or Marek Dvořák, who's in my opinion one of the best young cameramen in our country. But for a really long time there was one important person missing, and it was an actor to play a lead role. I was waiting for somebody who's gonna be absolutely perfect, and we couldn't find him. Then when it was only 5 days before the shoot, everybody started to get really nervous. And then somebody recommended us Jiří, and when I met him, I knew it's him. I think I really couldn't wish for a more talented and nice person. Now it's exactly a month after we finished the shooting. The movie is in a final post-production, and I still didn't get much sleep, but I don't regret anything. I really love what we did so far, and let's just hope the others will love it too.
من قمرة جئنا كي ننقل آراء الناس وكي نكمل ما بات لزاما أن يكمل إنسانا بالعلم محمل. إحسان حديث حدث كحديث الصبح ذا قبال. قمرة جئنا كي ننقل آراء الناس وكي نكمل ما بات لزاما إنسانا بالعلم محمل.